What's up? What's up? What's up? Thank you guys. We are back. We are back. For those that are just tuning in, we just got finished doing Beyond the Gates. So if you haven't caught the Beyond the Gates, go get it. Go watch it later after you get off of here. But we are here to talk about the Braxtons season 2, episode 3. So let's just jump right in. Now, everybody has seen the clip. We talked about it yesterday, about the clip with Towanda. I mean, when the girls are at the table and Tamar and Towanda get into it about who sent the cease and desist. Somebody gave them, she was saying somebody had to give the process server my address. Towanda was like, I wasn't me because I don't even know where you live. And Tamar was like, exactly, because you don't up come and visit me. And then she said, yeah, but I know where you live because I made your down payment and you've been stealing from me. You've been using my credit card. Now, what I found interesting in that scene was Towanda didn't defend herself and say, no, I didn't steal from you. What she then said was, well, you're a thief too. See, if I call you a thief and you didn't really steal from me, you would think that the person's thoughts would be, it wasn't me. I didn't do it. Not, well, you a thief too. Because that sounds like you're admitting that you a thief. Am I tripping? I mean, it sounds like she's admitting that she's a thief, right? I'm just saying. Am I tripping? But neither here nor there. And then she said, well, what did I steal? She said, you stole Tony's man. Who did I steal? So they bleeped out the names, but the people been sliding in my inbox saying that allegedly it's some dude from Groove Theory. And then they tried to say, well, and you slept with Birdman too. I think that's who they said. But they bleeped all of that out. And then Toni got upset. And that's where it clicked. And it was like 2 weeks earlier. Look. Didn't we also, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't it a story out there where Towanda was accused of stealing her mama's Social Security? Am I tripping? Do I remember that story? Did anybody remember that story? Or am I tripping? I'm going to Google it. Because I could have sworn I remember that being a story a while ago. Okay, I'm not tripping. Danielle said yes. Okay, so Towanda, this ain't the first time somebody said you was a thief, girl. And I found it interesting that you didn't respond. Your response wasn't, I didn't steal anything. Your response was, well, you're a thief too. Now, she might not have said two. She might have just said you're a thief. But to me, it's the same thing because if somebody say, girl, you've been using my credit cards and stealing from me, my response, if I didn't do it, is going to be like, girl, what are you talking about? Ain't nobody use your damn credit card. See, that's what I'm going to say. Okay, but let's get into this episode. Now, the first thing we see is Trina then rushed home to be by Vaughn's side because Vaughn was in the hospital. He had congestive heart failure. Now, what he said was he didn't tell Trina he was feeling bad before she left because he knew that she wasn't going to go to Tulum and he didn't want her to cancel the trip. So he waited for her to go out of town and then he took himself to urgent care. So this is what I'm going to say. Y'all need to stop doing this shit. We all are either guilty or we know somebody that is guilty of, I'm not going to tell you because I don't want you to worry or I don't want you to stop doing what you got going on. My mother has done it to me. Oh, well, I knew you had a big exam coming up, so I didn't want to tell you. I'm sorry, what? And my thing is, I know a lot of us have issues sometimes with the way Vaughn talks to Trina and things like that. But in this instance, I also feel like, sir, that's your wife. That's your wife. And she may have made the decision not to go to Tulum, right? Because at the end of the day, that's your wife. And that's what she signed up for, sickness and in health. But I also feel like you probably have, for it to get as bad as he said it got, you have been feeling bad for a while. Now, let me say this, coming from somebody that I didn't live with, but that dealt with somebody who dealt with congestive heart failure. My brother had congestive heart failure. And my brother would wait until he was so sick that he had to go to the emergency room. And then the hospital would keep him for a couple of days because they had to drain all the fluid. But he knew what it felt like. He knew when it was getting bad. But he had other stuff to do first. And honestly, in the end, that's how my brother died. In the end, my brother was literally, my brother was waiting for somebody to come and take him to the hospital. And they found my brother dead in his kitchen, waiting for his ride. The person that found my brother was the person who was coming to pick him up to take him to the hospital. My brother had been sick the whole weekend. You know why my brother waited to go? He waited till Monday to go to the hospital because he was trying to buy a new car. And he was looking for a car that weekend. And he waited until Monday to go to the hospital. And the person he called to give him a ride to the hospital found him. Now, that's my business. I ain't never told y'all my story before, but I say all that to say, stop playing games with your health and stop trying to protect people. That man said they took 30 pounds of fluid off of his body, which means he had been feeling bad for a while. But anyway, I'm gonna move on with that because I'm gonna get back into that again when we get to Miss Evelyn. Okay, so there's that story. Okay, and I hope my niece ain't in here because I don't want to upset her because she gets very upset about her father. So I hope she ain't in here to hear me tell my story. Anyway, so then we see Toni rehearsing because she's doing Jazz in the Garden down in Miami. And she's talking about how she's used to only doing like these 20-minute sets and having breaks, which works really well for her lupus. But now she's got this longer set and how this is new for her. And she's, hasn't done this long of a set in a long time. And how she has to, she's working that out. Now, when Toni was doing that, all I was thinking was, girl, she was like, yeah, I can't do those world tours those long tours like I used to, where I was out on stage for, an hour, 2 hours at a time. I can't do that no more. And all I was thinking about was, girl, you announced that you going on tour with New Edition and Boyz II Men. Like, you just announced that on Friday. And me and the group chat are already discussing whether we gonna go or not. And all I could think was, girl, are you going to be able to do the damn tour that you just announced you're going to do? Because you just gave us this long soliloquy. About how you can't do these long tours anymore. So what you doing? Why you just announced this tour with Boyz II Men and New Edition? Toni, if I buy a ticket for this show, you better make it to the DC show. That's all I got to say about that. Toni. Girl. Although, if I'm being honest, if Toni don't make it, I ain't gonna be mad. But Toni, I hope they're gonna, and I'm joking, but I'm serious. I hope they're gonna space it out enough. Because that's one of the problems with somebody. That's why Brandy, when you look at the tour for the Brandy Monica tour, baby, sometimes and I get it. I understand they're on tour, and I know that time is money. But sometimes y'all gotta spread this shit out. Especially when you have health issues. So I'm hoping that Toni, and she's smart enough and she's been dealing with her lupus long enough. But that's all I could think about when she said that. That's all I could think about was, girl, you just announced the whole tour. Y'all, wait a minute. Hold on. I'm being nosy. Okay, y'all can't see, but the windows right here, these two windows right here, they face the back of my house. And I just keep seeing people walking by with furniture. And I'm trying to figure out, is one of my neighbors moving out? Did he buy new furniture and he moving in? I'm just being nosy. All right, I'll ask him later because he out there. Thank you, Jordan. He out there. Okay, he out there. I'll ask him later. Anyway, but then we see Toni rehearsing her dance. And she talking about oh my gosh, I forgot the steps. It's been so long since I've done this. Toni, you've been doing that same choreography for 20 years. I knew what the song was that you was doing the choreography for. You were doing the choreography for He Wasn't Man Enough for Me, because you was doing the same dance steps that you did in the video that you've been doing on stage for the last 20 years. Girl, stop. We all could do that choreography with you. We all can do the choreography with you, ma'am. Toni, stop playing with us. Talking about something. I forgot the steps. How? You ain't changed the choreography. Girl, I knew what song you was rehearsing. Anyway. Really be is the real pearl. I am nosy though. I ain't gonna tell y'all no lie. I'm gonna tell y'all the members only what happened around my neighborhood. What day was that? Spiller Boy. I was on the phone with Spiller Boy too. What day was that? It was either Tuesday or Wednesday when I got home because it was the day I went to the grocery store because I had groceries. Because I was taking my groceries out when I witnessed the situation. I'm gonna tell y'all the members only what happened. But anyway. Somebody asked about Bell Collective. It's not gonna be today. It's gonna probably be tomorrow. Probably tomorrow morning. If I can get both episodes watched, it'll probably be tomorrow morning, maybe around 11 o'clock-ish. Yeah. Okay. So then we see Tamar recording her episode of Outlaws with T.S. Madison. And you guys know that T.S. Madison has a new podcast called Outlaws. And it's actually been pretty good. She's had some really good guests on there and have told some really good stories. I think it's a good podcast. Like I said, most of the one I've watched, pretty much all of them, and they're really good. So she had Tamar on there, and it was funny because they sort of addressed her and Craig a little bit. And she talked about how T.S. Madison asked about Ashley, and she was like, "I got a cease and desist. I can't discuss it." And T.S. tried to like skirt around it a little bit to kind of be like, well, why this and why that? And she was like, I can't talk about it. Like, I got to cease and desist. I cannot discuss it. I cannot talk about it. So then they sort of talked a little bit about Craig. Now, they didn't get into what happened with her and Craig, but she did talk about, well, you know, my co-host on my other show seems to think that your family likes drama. Now, I'm going to be honest and say, I don't think that's a fair statement to make and say that the whole family likes drama. I wouldn't have been mad if he said Tamar likes drama, but to say the whole family, I don't know if I think the whole family likes drama. But I do think that they signed up for a reality show and they had issues that were exposed on the show. Some of the storylines are probably more fluff and maybe not as deep, but they had some real deep shit with their family because they were a fractured family before they decided to do a reality show. And the cameras just exposed what was there, in my opinion. But the part that I was talking about was there's a segment that she does that T.S. Madison does. She said it's called, my podcast is called Outlaws for a reason because I'm bringing people on who maybe had a villain era. They're not villains, but they've had a villain era, right? And so she asked about Tamar's villain era. She said, my villain era was probably my first, the Braxtons, the first reality show, Braxton Family Values, I should say. And now, Tamar, I've been giving you a lot of grace these first 2 episodes, and I'm going to give you some more grace at the end of this episode. But right here is where I'm going to pop your hand a little bit. This is where I'm going to pop your hand a little bit, Tay. She said that she felt like she was labeled a villain because of her sisters. I'm going to disagree, Tamar. You were labeled the villain because of your behavior. Myself as a viewer, me. Now, I didn't even watch the first. Let me tell you how I started watching Braxton Family Values, because this was before I was doing YouTube and all of that. And I wasn't really going to watch it. I don't know why I wasn't interested in watching it, but I wasn't. Because back then, we didn't know the sisters. Let's be clear. We knew Toni Braxton. None of us, unless you were like a stan, unless you were like a Toni Braxton stan, most of us didn't know nothing about the sisters. I mean, we knew that she started off in a group with her sisters. Most of us didn't know much more than that. Most of us. Now, some people, like I said, I wasn't really interested in watching the show. I went over my girl's house, my girl, Ronnie Ron, and she had it on. And it was on, like, it was a marathon. Like, it was a season 1 marathon. And I was like, girl, you watching this? And she said, yeah, you never seen it? I said, I have not. Baby, I finished watching that episode because we were just over there chilling, having some drinks and just chilling out. So I ended up watching that. I think we were doing like We were doing something. I remember anyway, I ended up watching that episode, and I ended up watching about 4 more episodes, and then I was hooked. I said, and so with that being said, that's how I started watching Braxton Family Values. Tamar, as a viewer who didn't know anything about you, I wasn't a stan of Toni Braxton like that. I didn't know nothing about her sisters and the relationship with the sisters and the former group. I didn't know nothing. What I will say is, girl, your sisters didn't do that all by themselves. Now, do I think that the sisters did certain things? In hindsight, sure. But Tamar, you became a villain because of your words, your actions, what we saw you do. You did those things. And if your sisters put the narratives out, you didn't help the narrative much. If the sisters put the narrative out that you changed since you got money, you helped that narrative. If the sisters put the narrative out that you were difficult and you were a problem, you helped that narrative. So I think that in hindsight, yes. Do I think there were some things that in hindsight your sisters probably helped perpetuate? Sure. But girl, you helped it. You helped it. Let's be clear. So Tay, I can't put that all on your sisters because your behavior, you have had bad behavior. And it is very well documented. And even when you were on your Tamar event show, you had some moments, and your sisters weren't even on that show. Your sisters weren't even on that show, and you had some moments. Now, on that show, I think some things were exposed with you and Vince's marriage, but I ain't going to go down that road, child. Let's get to Towanda and this dress fitting. There were a lot of things in this episode that confused me. This was one of the scenes that confused me. How does your dressmaker not know when your wedding is? Can somebody explain that to me? How does your dressmaker that's making the dress for your wedding not understand when your wedding is? This man said, oh, well, I thought I had a couple of months. And she said, no, you've got days. That don't make no sense to me. Hey, everybody coming in. Hey. That makes no sense to me. I'm confused about all of that. So I'm going to tell y'all what I think happened. This is what I think happened. I think they changed their date so it would be on the show and it would be filmed. That's what I think happened. I think that they did have one date. I think there was an original date that was planned. And when production started, they had to move the date in order for it to be filmed for the show. That's my opinion. Oh, I don't think he was joking because his face was dead ass. I didn't see the joke, but I could be wrong. I didn't see the joke, but I didn't take it as a joke. I didn't see the joke. Right, informed, and then that would make sense why Tamar was upset about it being close to her birthday because that wasn't the original date. If I think that's what happened, I think the date was changed to move it up so it would be filmed. That's my opinion. I don't know that to be true, but that's my opinion. Just like it seems like she had her bachelorette weekend, and then she's having like the very next week she's having this Bridgerton tea situation, like. I don't know. That's exactly what happened. Before they got renewed, she had planned the date already. Hey, Don Boo. Don done dropped out the sky, honey, to pour some tea. Trina even confirmed it. Yeah, that's the only thing that made sense to me because I don't think that man was playing. I think that man really was serious about, oh, I thought I had more time. And Toni had a show, right? Right. You changed the date and everybody else already got shit going on. Like, you know. So okay, so that was confirmed that's what happened. Because in my mind, I was like, this makes no sense. None of this about this wedding makes sense to me. About these plans, everything just seems so rushed at this point. And my thing is, what you like anyway. And she was like, and I'm not changing my date. Thank you, Miss B. Carter. I'm not changing my date. I'm not changing my date. So somebody said the blue hair didn't make sense. That's her daughter. Listen, the kids are wearing the color hair. I work with teenagers, child. They come to school with their hair all kinds of colors, child. She wears that hat. I bet you if she takes that hat off, you'll see her hair, the actual color of her real hair braided in. Because a lot of my students do the colored hair. They do the pink and the red and the blue and the, you know, some of them don't do the whole thing like her daughter did, but child, that's how the kids do their hair, child. So the other thing was she came out in this one dress. I don't think that was a joke because Towanda wasn't even wearing that dress like she wanted that to be her wedding dress. The way she came out there in that dress looked like this dress is uncomfortable. This isn't real. I don't really want this to be my dress. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't believe that was actually Tawanda's dress. But come to find out, that was Irena Taylor's dress from her reunion. That was her reunion dress from season 1 or season 2 of Love and Marriage DC. I thought that was interesting. And Irena did a short of like who wore it best kind of thing. But it was cute. Yeah, because I thought it was a joke. I didn't think it was real. I think the skirt that she came out in was real. I think that was her actual dress. Her colors are lavender and chocolate. And listen, that's her thing. Okay. That's her thing. Andre Tracy's no longer with us, sir. You said all the Braxton sisters ignore Tracy. Tracy's not here. I don't understand what you're saying, sweetheart. All right. Also, she's got this cast on. Her doctor says she might be able to take the cast off right before the wedding, so she won't have to wear it. They gave her an option of surgery or the cast. I'm thinking that maybe the recovery time on the cast was shorter, I guess, because it seemed to be like if you could opt out of surgery. I mean, if you could. Anyway, she chose the cast over surgery. So, but the cast is wrapped in lavender, and I saw her dressmaker like looking at putting some things on there to maybe try to camouflage it. I mean, listen, baby, you got hit by a car. If you got to wear cast, baby, you got to wear cast. You know, if you got to wear cast, baby, you got to wear cast. That's all you can do. Then we see that Miss Evelyn was rushed to the hospital and had some emergency surgery. Now, this is where y'all lost me again. And I don't know if it's the way y'all telling the story or if y'all lying about what happened. I'm not saying they lying about Miss Evelyn in the hospital. That ain't what I'm saying. I mean, lying about the story around Miss Evelyn in the hospital because it don't make sense. So we see this scene where they were setting up a scene for Toni, and then Toni called and said she got to fly to LA, blah, 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 right? Come to find out, Miss Evelyn had surgery. She had to get a stent put in her heart. Here's where I'm confused. Now, what they told us, production said Miss Evelyn went to the doctor to have some tests. While she was at the doctor, they saw a blockage and immediately rushed her into surgery. That is what production said. Then Tamar said Logan came to her at 1:00 in the morning and said, we need to pray for grandma because she's having surgery tomorrow. That's two different stories. It can't be she went to a doctor's appointment and then had to be rushed into surgery and Logan knew the night before. So either y'all trying to tell us that Logan is clairvoyant, like Logan knew that grandma was sick before grandma, or that story ain't adding up. It doesn't make that. And I was sitting here like, then when we see Miss Evelyn, she got a full lip. Don't nobody go into surgery with makeup on. That is absolutely not happening. And a wig. Now, I don't know about the wig part because I don't wear wigs. I don't know if they let you wear wigs into surgery or not. I'm being honest. I don't know. But I damn sure know you ain't walking out of surgery with no full red lip. Now, first, we heard Tamar and Trina talking about, yeah, mama got that lipstick on. I didn't know they let people go into surgery with lipstick on. But then when your mama woke up, you said, but yeah, mama, you got your lipstick on. We ain't going to let you go out like that. So which one is it? Did the mama go into surgery with the lip on, or did y'all put the lip on before the camera started rolling? And then the mama woke up and was like, where am I? Who are you? Why are the cameras here? What's going on? And y'all had to explain to her that she went into emergency surgery, which again contradicts what y'all told us about Logan already knowing the day before. Then you said, mama, you want a reality show. You're famous. You're on a reality show. I'm famous. What am I famous for? She didn't know nothing about nothing until they tried to give her some sugar. And she gonna say, oh, no, I can't have that. That's going to be bad for my diabetes. So you know you got diabetes, but you don't know who you are? Thank you, Janetta. You mean to tell me you didn't remember that you had to have surgery? You didn't remember that you were a Braxton, that your family is Braxtons, that you on a reality TV show? You didn't remember nothing until they said, we're going to get you a piece of cake. And you said, that's going to make my sugar go up. My diabetes act up. Now, do I think that the mama had surgery? I do. I think the mama had surgery. But I don't think that scene was real. I think that was a manufactured scene. Do I think the mama had surgery? Yes. Yes. I don't think they would lie about their mother having surgery. I just think that the scene was manufactured. Now, that's my opinion. And I don't mean, no, like I said, I believe the mama really did have surgery. I just think that wasn't the moment. Not that scene was as fake as Towanda's scene last week when she was acting in that hospital. Not let me find out Todd is a producer. Y'all cut up. So they take Mama Braxton home. And this is how we get to all 5 of them are now in Atlanta at the same time. Because, of course, Toni had to fly home. Not maybe it was filmed at Tyler Perry's studio. Child, maybe it was. So Miss Evelyn is sitting on the couch. Towanda FaceTimes her. And then Toni shows up. Then Tamar shows up. And then Trina shows up. And they proceed to have a conversation with her about not telling them that she had to have surgery. Now, again, do I believe that she didn't tell them about her surgery? I do. That I believe. And they were like, well, why would you tell Logan and not tell us? Now, Miss Evelyn, it's got to be one or the other. Either you lied to your daughters or y'all lied to us in this scene. Because once again, this shit don't make sense. You told Logan Logan is old enough to understand surgery. He understands the difference between surgery and procedure. He's 11 years old. He's not a dumb kid. Logan is from what it looked, he know the difference between surgery and procedure. You used the word surgery. You told your 11-year-old grandchild that you were having surgery, but you didn't tell his mama or any of his aunts. And then when they asked her, well, why didn't you tell us? She said, well, I didn't know that I was going to have surgery. I just thought that I was going to the doctor's office to have some tests run. I didn't know I was going to have surgery. So which one is it, y'all? Because again, to hear Tamar tell the story, you went to the hospital. You didn't go to your doctor's office. Now, some doctor's offices are in hospitals. My doctor's office is in a hospital. So I understand some doctors are in hospitals. I get that. But that whole story just didn't make no damn sense. Why would you tell an 11-year-old child? Yeah, Logan can cook. I've seen videos. Logan can cook. Why would you tell an 11-year-old child before you tell your own children that you are going into... That whole storyline didn't make no damn sense to me. And again, I don't know what's true. I don't know which one is the line, which one is true, but the shit didn't make no damn sense. Damn it. Now, I don't know which one is a lie, which one is the truth, but it didn't make no damn sense. But neither here nor there, Miss Evelyn, whatever it is, don't keep your children in the dark. Let your kids know what's going on. You're an older woman of a particular age, and you've had some other health issues. They said the last time you had to have a stent put in, you ended up having a stroke. It is serious. It's not to be played with. Don't listen. It's clear that your daughters will drop everything and be by your side. Everybody don't have that. We was talking about that today at the hairdresser. Everybody don't have that in their life. Okay, you're not inconveniencing nobody. You're not bothering nobody. What's up, powerful? Hey, boo. It is overly produced. It is. It is. So once that was done, I guess because all the sisters were in town, production decided to have this sit down where they all come together so they can talk about the cease and desist and what they got going on, because they said that there's a lot of tension happening in the family right now. Now, here's the thing. And that's the clips that we've been seeing at the beginning of the episodes, the clips from this sit-down dinner. First of all, Tamar said when she got the cease and desist paperwork, she said, I asked in the group chat who sent it. Now, I've never gotten a cease and desist. Let me knock on some wood, because I don't want one either. I don't want one. I don't want no parts of one. So I've never actually gotten a cease and desist. Knock again. So I don't know. Don't they tell you who sent it? Because doesn't it say like either on behalf of my client, ... or on behalf of me, I'm asking that you ... Like, it doesn't say anywhere in a cease and desist who sent it. I mean, and I'm not being funny. It's crazy to me that Tamar doesn't know who sent it. Now, she know who the lawyer was. Now, she said she asked in the group chat who sent the cease and desist, and she said ain't nobody respond. And I believe her. I believe her. I believe that she asked in the group chat and ain't nobody say nothing. And the reason why I say I believe her is because if Tamar knew who actually sent it, that's where Tamar's anger would be directed. But the fact that she walked in the room mad at everybody, she's assuming that all of the sisters were on board with the cease and desist. And like she said, whoever it was got my damn address because the process server came to my front door. He didn't go to my LLC. He didn't show up at the studio. He showed that he on my front door. Now, I know the brother sent Ashley a cease and desist. Ashley said she got a cease and desist from her father. So it might have come from the brother. But what Tamar said was the lawyer is the lawyer that they use. And Towanda said that man hasn't been my lawyer in years. So whoever sent it, it went through an attorney a lawyer that has worked with the Braxton sisters in the past. Said new production at WeTV. Now, all of the sisters are sitting at that table like they don't know who sent that cease and desist. I think that makes sense that it would be the brother since he said Ashley one. I could see that it being the brother. I could definitely see it being the brother. But what I'm also going to say is I think they knew. They knew who sent it. Why ain't none of them say we ain't send it? Whatever the brother's name is, he sent it. Because that makes sense that it would be the brother since the brother was the one that sent it to Ashley. I don't think it was Mama. I don't think it was Mama Evelyn. I don't think it was Missy. I think it was the brother or Toni. But I think they know he did it though. I think they know Michael. I think they know he sent it though. You see what I'm saying? So this is where we pick up from that conversation from the beginning to the conversation at the end, and they got to arguing. And it looks like it gets really ugly next week. The scene we keep seeing with Toni jumping up, and then it looks like Trina jumps up, and then Tamar's like, "Don't touch me, don't touch me," and Trina's like, "I ain't touching you," and then Towanda, child, it's a mess. But again, once again, that's an example of and I might be using the term wrong. So if I'm using it wrong, y'all can correct me. But again, that's an example of the gaslighting. Y'all know who sent that damn cease and desist. Just tell her. Y'all sitting there acting like she crazy. Like, wasn't me. All y'all kept saying was, well, it wasn't me. But y'all know somebody sent that cease and desist. And y'all know who sent it. If it came from the family lawyer, y'all fucking know who sent that damn cease and desist. Now, again, thank you, Kim. Now, again, I haven't seen a cease and desist up close. But I always thought that the person who sent it, like, because how do I know if I don't even know who sent it? Because you can't just randomly send somebody a cease and desist. Shouldn't you have to identify who you are and how you're the wronged party in the situation? Like, that's weird to me. Yeah, I agree. I think Tamar knew who sent it too. Because it doesn't make sense to me that y'all don't know who sent the damn thing. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. I appreciate it. It just doesn't make sense to me that y'all don't know who sent it. But baby, that was pretty much the episode. Next week, it looks like we really kind of get into more of the scuffling of it all. I don't know how many episodes we have. That's episode 4. I really don't feel like we need more than 10 because I don't know what much more we can do with this. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know where we go from here. Like I said yesterday, they need to just quit the show, cancel the show, and everybody live their best life. Like, come together at family events and keep it moving. Y'all don't like each other. Y'all not friends. It is what it is. Thank you. Lawrence Blair said, yes, a cease and desist letter clearly identifies the sender, including their name and contact information. This is a crucial part of a letter, as it explains who was making the demand. Right. It doesn't make sense to me that you would get a cease and desist and then not be identified who sent it. Now, come on now. See, that's what I'm saying. Y'all be playing in our faces. I agree, Xavier. He said the problem is they need each other for business purposes. Yeah, true. Towanda did not deny it. She absolutely did not deny it. She did not deny being a thief. All right, y'all. Can y'all hit the like button before we get out of here? It's almost 200 of y'all. Oh my gosh. Thank y'all for being here on a Saturday afternoon. And before we get out of here, can y'all please hit that like button before y'all leave? I appreciate it. Could it have been read that it is on behalf of the Braxton family? Then if it said on behalf of the Braxton family, then Tamar's right in saying that basically all of y'all did it. I mean, Tamar's part of the Braxton family. So I don't know. I think they would have to be more specific. She's part of she's a Braxton. I don't know. She said, I think she just wants them to tell her to her face. It serves as a formal warning that legal action may follow if the recipient does not comply, per Google. Thank you, Lawrence Blair. Thank you, Boo, for looking that up and putting it in the chat. Thank you. Oh, Xavier said Towanda is a thief and Tamar for sure slept with Tony's ex. Thank you, Lauren. I wonder if she has asked the brother. Good question. That's a good question. Yep. All right, y'all. Let me get out of here. I'm about to go out in the streets for a little while. That's why I said I probably won't come back. I probably won't get you. I'll probably finish watching Bell Collective when I get home, but we won't be able to get into Bell Collective. Like I said, till tomorrow probably. I think we're gonna do Chasing Orlando at some point tomorrow. And of course, the Real Housewives of Potomac tomorrow night. Okay. All right, y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.